Test, test. Is my mic? Okay, before we get going, we're going to do a selfie with all of you guys. Screw Bradley Cooper. We're going to do better than that. All right, hey, Stan's just finishing eating, so he said, Todd, go warm him up. So he's gonna make it here. He moves a little bit slow, so I'll just tell you some silly stories, do some goofy stuff, and then when Stan gets here, we'll hand it over to the guy, and I'll do an interview with him. Let me just tell you my introduction to Stan Lee. I'm 16 years old. I started collecting at about 15, 16, and so I become a fanatic. I start collecting everything that's on the marketplace. I'm also an athlete. I played Pac-10 baseball, right? I wanted to be center field for somebody, and I just wasn't good enough. But I ended up going down to Florida on a baseball tryout, tournament, whatever, and we did our baseball stuff, and then we had to go to the hotel, and we had to catch a plane back, I'm Canadian, back up to Canada that night. And we go back to the hotel, and all of a sudden, for some of you older people out there, they used to, which is surprising when I look here, they used to hold these conventions in hotels, small little Holiday Inns, right? And they put up a little sign saying Comic Convention down in that room. So it's true, some of you old folks, right? They used to be small. So I'm at this Holiday Inn and I'm walking, and all of a sudden I see the sign that says Comic Convention. And I go, wow, what's the chances on my last day here in Florida I get to go to a convention, a comic book convention? It's the first one I ever went to. And they don't have a lot up in Canada at that point. I go in there, I meet a bunch of people, and then one of the booths that was table, maybe it was about half the size, that was sitting just outside, there's a guy there, Stan Lee. First time I met him. I'm 16 years old at that point. I stand off to the side for about an hour, and I just listen to him with his enthusiasm, and then, like any geeky fan, I basically asked the question that all of you guys would have asked. Is it okay if I sit here for the rest of the day next to you? And he went, yeah, sure, I don't care. So literally, ladies and gentlemen, he was here, his line was coming, and I was here. People kept asking who I was. He'd be like, I don't know. And for the whole day, I sat there as a 16-year-old just listening to all the questions that he got peppered with and all the answers he gave. And as a guy that was, in a couple of years, going to start sending out my samples, I learned more in those 2 or 3 hours that I just sat by his side. And I remember some of the answers. I actually started applying some of those answers onto my artwork, so that fast forward, I started sending off my samples with some of those answers that I'd heard in my head as a 16-year-old. I get a job, fast forward a little bit more, I'm doing Spider-Man, fast forward a little bit more, I get to meet Stan, and we've been fast friends ever since, which is why a lot of times he asked me to get up on stage here and help with the conversation, because he is very good, ladies and gentlemen, at making me understand that I am the Robin in the Batman and Robin partnership that you will soon see. He will always flex the symbol, and you'll see it a couple times here. I'm going to give a secret away because he's gonna come here and he likes to make you guys feel good. He likes to make himself feel good, and then he didn't really care much about me, and so we'll have a little bit of fun with that. Stan also, it was this interesting thing that we used to talk about when I was at my heyday doing Spider-Man, that we were talking about the movie coming up, and now we're going to go back for all you people who've obviously seen, let's instead of raise your hand who's seen the Spider-Man movie, let's ask the opposite. Who in this room has not seen a Spider-Man movie? Well, Helen Keller on the back there, I see her. All right, so everybody's seen it. So what was happening was, I'm going back now 25 years now, maybe. I don't know if you guys know, but the franchise was in legal turmoil. What had happened was somebody owned the rights, and then about 6 other companies said that they owned the rights, and it was just a headache. And they couldn't get a Spider-Man movie off the ground for about a decade, right? For about a decade, they were fighting globally. 6 companies globally, because just when they tied all the rights up in the U.S., somebody then on the other side of the world said, no, I have the rights to Spider-Man. You can't make that movie. And the only reason I bring that up, it is one of the few times, matter of fact, I can say thank you to the lawyers. Because if they had made, no, here's why I say that. Because if they had made that movie back then, the technology wasn't there.